Good morning to all in the Marmy Army this morning. Now, you might recognise this. I'm actually in Arrow Valley Country Park. And it's not the first time I've met a guest here, but you're never going to meet a guest like this one again. He is literally MARM's #1 fan, numero uno, a brigadier in the Marmy Army. But I'm not running with him this morning, and there's a good reason for that. He's 77. And he's about to go into a museum, quite literally. I'll catch up with him and explain more in a second. Is he here? He's here! Of course he's here! Oh, he's brisk. Hearty, you've done 7 kilometres here, it says. How are you, mate?
I just done the first 7. I'm going to leave it at that if you don't mind.
Right.
All right.
So, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Now, I should introduce, this is my very, very dear friend Malcolm Wakeman, or Hearty Welcome as I will refer to him. We'll explain that in a bit. You seem a bit out of breath from that.
Oh, well, 7 kilometres, it does get you.
It does, doesn't it, after a while? Now, we'll talk to you about your career in a second and some of the reasons why we're here. But, Hearty, I've introduced you as MARM's #1 fan.
This is true.
This is correct.
I haven't missed one.
Have you not missed one?
I've not missed one.
Oh, do you know?
And I've commented on most of them.
You have, actually. So I've only got about 6 or 7 left to do,
Right.
at the end of this year. And then I'll probably pack it in, I think. It's not gone quite to plan. I was hoping I should be a millionaire by now.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Still on my arse.
Have you been approached by any companies at all?
No, not a single one.
But-
Although I've had some morale-lifting feedback from a couple of, like a bloke with a running channel in America.
Yeah?
Dev Runner, his name is. And when I was thinking about packing it up the other day, he sent me a lovely message.
Oh, right.
Keep going, man.
Well, I've got to tell you that I've got some contacts in Washington, D.C.
Do you really?
who've been following you very closely.
You
And they will be revealing themselves, as it were. Well, she will be actually.
Oh,
She
even
will be
better.
revealing herself,
Oh, lovely.
yeah. When this hits the street.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
fabulous. Well, I can't wait for this. It's going to be brilliant then. Well, maybe, and I was thinking about packing it up, but I don't think I will, because I've actually really, I've actually quite enjoyed it, really.
Oh, yes.
Well, we'd never have done this, would we?
No.
As a fan,
Yeah.
right, as I say, I've only got a few left to do.
Yeah.
Who do you think's been your favourite?
Like Badgley Clinton.
You like Badgley?
When you start talking about Badgley Clinton and the, what was the name of that tower?
The Towers of Atonement.
The Tower of Atonement. And of course they're phallic symbols, aren't they?
I believe they
So
might be, yeah.
He was atoning for what he'd been doing, but all the time he was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I thought that was very good. And
Yeah.
But what I love the most is your pieces to camera, of the John Gielgud nature.
Oh, I thought,
Like
right.
St Crispin's Day,
Oh, okay.
altered to meet the requirements of the
Oh,
moment.
well, I'll tell you what then. I will, before this finishes at the end of the year, I'll do a special one just for you.
Excellent.
All right, I'll do another one. We've known each other for many years. Now, I believe, actually, you are my... Well, head down this looks interesting, isn't it? This
Oh,
little
it
track.
does, yeah.
I believe you are my
Yeah.
sister's godfather, aren't you, I think?
This
You're
is
my
correct. Yes. Rebecca.
And,
or Becky, as we know. her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, because you were in a band with my dad.
Yeah.
Right, we'll talk about that in a second. And Dad split the band members across his children, didn't he? I think.
Yes.
So to speak.
As it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you belong to my older sister, but now you were into this band. It was called the Timoneers. Now I can't believe no one's heard of them. I cannot believe that at all. Not with the recent media that you've been doing.
Oh, absolutely right, yeah. Yeah, we're having a renaissance. We're not actually we don't exist
doing
anymore. No. Except in our own minds, because we're legends in our own minds.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, no, but actually, you've been quite modest because when did it start? It was the 60s, wasn't it?
Early 60s, really.
Yeah.
64, 65, something like that.
And the band itself is a bit like the Beatles, really, wasn't it?
Well, that was a big...
Without the success.
Yes. Yeah. Or without the sex and violence as well.
Yeah.
But also, the thing about that period was the Beatles and the Stones were the predominant influence to everything.
Yeah.
So you've probably seen in some of the old photographs from that period, you know, which they're in sepia, of course. And when you've actually looked at them, you'll see everybody stars themselves on the Beatles, really.
Yeah. Well, I've got some cracking photos, and they will appear on the screen in the edit. Like, you know, you kept going, and so the 60s and 70s, wasn't it, primarily? And then
Yes.
you kind of broke up, didn't you, for a bit?
Yes.
And, like, you know, the last concert that you did was only about 3 years ago, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Seasons spinning round again, days keep rolling by.
You're going into the Birmingham Music Museum, aren't you?
Well, yes. Mike was sitting at home in his palatial mansion, considering, you know, life and its meaning and all that.
Yeah.
And this guy comes on television called Jess Collins, and he was looking for information about bands in the 60s.
Right. He
So-
must have been aware of you. I mean, surely.
Of course, he must have been. Well, actually, he was.
No, he must
yeah,
have
he
been.
was. And
Because you're playing it down slightly,
Yeah.
but you did release, was it 4 or 5 albums, wasn't it? I
yes,
think,
yeah, we did.
of which we will play a game shortly.
Excellent.
And you also, but you toured Europe and stuff as well.
Oh,
didn't
we
you?
did, yeah, we did. We you know, not speaking a word of French, German, or
Well, you don't need to, do you?
you know, no, because you know, as long as they say, you know, do you want a drink, and
Yeah,
you
that's it.
understand it, you know, you can sort of say yes.
And music being such a communal language.
Absolutely,
You know.
universal.
Absolutely. Right. Well, look, are you ready, Artie, for your 13.1 questions?
I am.
I thought you would be.
Yeah.
Game begin.
Now, your name is Malcolm Waitman, but you're known as Artie. Right,
Yes.
we won't go into the
No.
into the specifics of the nickname, but it's a nickname that's stuck. Right, what's the best nickname you've ever heard someone have or ever given somebody?
There was, you won't believe this, but there was a girl at work called Piggy. Right? Now you'd assume from that, like,
Yeah.
she might be a bit fat or
Yeah.
had eaten a lot of stuff or
Yeah.
something. No. What happened was she was bitten by a pig. And it's not funny, apparently. I mean, although like later on, I dare say she probably laughed about it.
Yeah.
And so they shortened they called her Piggy. I thought she was unkind, really, but actually she was quite svelte.
Yeah,
and,
was she?
Oh, yes, yeah.
God, it could have all sorts of connotations, that couldn't it?
Well, it could.
Maybe she
Because,
liked truffles.
well, that's right.
know,
Pigs and
she was
potatoes
bitten
come to
by a
mind. Yeah.
If you're going to go telling people that, then
Yeah.
you've got to expect the consequences, haven't you? I
Yes.
think, really.
Oh, well, the thing is, I don't know whether she'll be able to trace me now, to be honest.
I don't think she would.
No.
Not from this. You never know, though. She might have. My friend Dev Runner in America, she
Well,
might have a link to him.
Well, exactly.
Don't you diss my wife, man. It's not called Piggy anymore. Now, what was the favourite song that you used to perform? What was your showstopper? Well, it doesn't have to be your showstopper. Your personal favourite, which one?
Oh, my personal favourite. Well, I suppose it'd have to be Joe the Carter's Lad.
Oh, well, yeah. We'll have a go at that in a minute. We'll do a West
Okay,
Country
well-
sing-along.
Have I come too soon with that one?
I think you might have. We are. There's a big dog here with a stick. That's I
In
won't
the
tell you.
morning.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah. It's a
Morning,
great steer. Morning,
morning.
morning. How'd you get on? Frosted? Frosted? Didn't like that, did he?
No.
No. Okay. But you get this. This is the thing. This is what happens.
You sort of don't think he does people.
No. Certainly not people who are filming him.
No.
Put it that way. He's probably on disability or something.
Oh,
Now,
right.
did you ever meet anybody famous, like when you were doing the circuit? Any rising stars, people who weren't famous at the time?
Oh yes, yeah. Well, we did because we did meet Joe Brown a few times.
Yeah.
But that I suppose he wasn't rising. He'd already
No,
risen.
no. Well, my dad tells a cracking
Yeah.
story of going round to. He used to stop at Joe Brown's house. He warmed up for him a few times.
Yeah, that's right.
And the one morning, I don't know how true this is, but he claims it is. The one morning there was a knock on the door. Has he
Yeah.
told you this story?
Oh yes.
And this little fella Hello, is Joe there, please? And it was George Harrison,
Yes,
apparently.
that's right.
What would
yeah.
you say to him?
Come in.
Now, what was? Because I always think about, I look at these pictures. Like, what was the best bit about being in a band with your pals? It must have been great.
Well, if you had a good gig and it really went well, this would provide you with enough oxygen for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
It was quite amazing.
Yeah.
So that was the great thing. It used to lift your spirits. And when you were perhaps having some, a bit of a tough time at work and getting a lot of rubbish from all sorts of people that you didn't really want it from,
Yeah.
you just think,
Well,
but
look,
they weren't doing this on Saturday night.
no, exactly. Well, it's very much like me doing this.
Yeah.
If I get 50 views, Artie, then I'm literally walking on air. I tell you.
Well, frankly, I think once you've done this one,
Well, it's good. I'm in the
It's gonna-
stratosphere, aren't I?
it's going to go into
I promised you a drink.
You
Right.
did.
There we go. We've got
Wonderful.
the coffee. We have got. Right.
Oh.
You can have a Christmas minion or a cork. Tall, dark, and refined.
I think this is the one.
Christmas
for me.
minion.
Yeah.
Right, I can't guarantee this will be any good. It'll be bloody horrible.
Did you prepare this with your own fair hand?
Oh,
it looks good.
it looks terrible. Right.
Reaches the parts I didn't know I got.
I don't know. Right, let's have a go. Is it still hot?
It is. It's excellent. Yeah.
God, it's bitter, isn't it?
Oh, this is living in.
Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Album Amnesia. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, okay?
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me what the album is. So I've blanked out the name of the album. It's one of your albums.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. Album number 1. What was it called?
Oh, Roundabout Now.
Correct. I've got a feeling this game is going to be a bit of an anticlimax.
Well, no, I don't think so.
This one.
Oh, now that one, I've just got to think for a moment. Oh, yes, that's Roasted Live.
It is.
Yeah.
You knew that though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Right. Actually,
Yeah.
these ones
I
get a
did
little...
have to think for a bit.
This one
yeah.
gets a bit more tricky. This was your big one, I think. This
well,
one,
it
wasn't
is.
Wasn't this the bestseller?
It is. This is. Oh yes, this was a big.
What was it called?
It was called With a Little Help from Their Friends.
Because you've got these two blokes.
Yeah, and this guy here, you can see down there. He was a brilliant fiddle player. His name was Roy Ashby, and sadly he's no longer with us. But he was really
Bit of a fiddler.
Bit of a fiddler.
And
Right,
your
mate.
last one,
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is actually an album or not. Is that an album cover?
No, that's just a publicity shot
a
for
great
when
photo,
we were
isn't
in
it?
Holland. Yeah, it is.
You look
yeah.
very debonair.
Well, you see, my daughter commented on the lapels.
Oh, great.
Said,
Yeah.
I like the jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know whether she did like them, but
No, they do. I think
she
they look
said
pretty
she did,
cool.
Yeah.
You've done very well with Album Amnesia, okay? And before we do our West Country sing-along, we're going to do,
Oh,
we're
yes,
going to do
you
a hit,
are.
aren't we?
Yeah,
Right.
I
I need your help with the Broadway notice board. What about this one?
Right.
This one's an advert for yoga for menopause.
Yes. Well.
Worth a comment? Or
Well,
too risky?
well, I wouldn't have thought there'd been that many menopausal people in Broadway, really.
You don't know.
Because-
There's 2 comments on it.
Yeah.
I think I could start a fire here. Now, talking of which, she's wearing a very heavy sweater.
Yes.
Which, given the hot flushes, I would have thought proves that that's fairly inaccurate. What do you think?
Yes, I think that's probably one of these. We have to speculate. Is that the actual person who's conducting the yoga for the? I suppose it is.
Oh, let's zoom in on her.
Yeah.
How old do you reckon she is?
Well,
Menopausal?
it could be because it's quite a broad range, you know.
It is, isn't it? Emma L, her name is.
Yes.
Well, look,
I'm quite taken with her, I have to say. I don't think I'm going to be in need of her services like immediately.
well, I'm going to comment about a sweater. I'll do that a bit
Right.
later.
Yeah.
And then finally,
Yeah.
right, this one I got quite excited about. Now,
Yeah.
this chap, Nige,
Yeah.
right, runs the cinema club in the village.
Right.
And he's advertising this. Right, this is on the 3rd of November.
Yeah.
And look, he's added a little joke. It says, Bates, fetch the motor. Yes, my lady. So he's got his... he's gone a little bit witty with this one. I was going, tickets on the door, £5, bar. Posters sponsored. So he's Downton Abbey. Have you ever seen any of the stuff?
Oh yes, I've
I mean,
seen.
it's crap.
Yeah, yes, I've seen it. Yeah,
It's expensive crap.
it's like it's not exactly the thinking man's Macbeth, is it?
Not really.
No.
So I was going to put a little response. Should I freak him out a little bit and say,
Yeah.
I'll come. Can I sit by you, Nigel?
I think you could amend that. Can I sit by you, my lady? Only for the sense of decency, which we associate with
Nige,
Broadway.
fetch my popcorn.
Yes, that's it.
Can I sit by you, my lady?
That's it. That's
right,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
going to bloody well do it.
That's it.
Right, and I'll update it the following week, see
Yeah.
whether I've had any bites.
Oh, right.
All right, that's fab. Right, well, look, before we leave it at this
Yeah.
juncture, we'll have a quick cheers and we'll do our West Country sing along. Let's have a little bit just to wet the pipes.
Ooh.
Oh,
Crack, crack goes the whip, I whistle and I sing. I sit upon me wagon, I'm as happy as a king. Me horse is always willing, and I am never sad. Who would for all the world to be like Joe the carter's lad? Hey! There's a crowd going wild over there.
You all right? Oh yes, yeah, we've been drinking. Have a good day. I don't think we need to do another one now.
No,
do
it's
we?
a cracker. It's a cracker. In the can.
Well, look.
It's a wrap.
Thank you ever so much
Yeah.
for coming out. I've
Oh,
really enjoyed it.
it's
It's
been
been,
great.
let's give
Yeah,
another one of
so-
these
yeah.
down. It's a shame they're on a bit stronger. We could have really given it
Ooh.
some gusto, couldn't we? But no, I've really
I think
enjoyed
we
it,
had a
Artie.
bit of stick, didn't we?
Yeah,
That
we
was
did.
all right, yeah.
But you start to get into it. You feel the blood pumping,
You
the
do.
adrenaline going. And when you get an audience, I mean, that guy didn't know where he was, did he? To be fair?
No, he didn't, and
But
you
I
know.
like to think we transported him somewhere.
yeah,
Didn't we?
yeah. I think from his gait there, I would say he's definitely lifted.
And a lovely little round of applause, I thought was just a fabulous and fitting end, wasn't it, really?
It was utterly amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you know, give us an audience, and we just can't turn it down. Can
Yeah,
we?
no, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Right. Talking about that, there is something, Tim. Can I just introduce it? Because, you know, you asked me way back in this interview about, you know, which MARM things had
Yes.
made an impression on me. There's one, I think he's a guy called Bob, I think he was.
Yes.
Leamington Spa?
Yes,
was he?
yeah.
And he seemed a really good egg, you know. And
I think you'd like Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's cut from a very similar cloth, I think. And I
Yeah.
think he plays, I'm fairly sure he plays the guitar.
Oh,
So, you know,
well,
he's
I should
exactly
get
the sort
together
of-
with him then.
Yeah, he's exactly
yeah.
the sort of person
Yeah.
you could have had a jamming session with, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, he'll love that.
Yeah.
So I'll pass that on.
Yeah,
But look,
please do, yeah.
we are heading to
Yeah.
a crossroads, both
Ah.
literally and metaphorically, Artie.
Right.
So, you know the form. What's your track of the day?
Well, it's Teenage Dirtbag Baby.
Right, okay. Right, but you're going for a different version, aren't you?
I am.
Which version are you going
I'm
for?
not really
you can't remember,
sure.
can you?
No, but I'm sure that you'll.
I've got it. Don't worry, I
you'll
know.
be able to sort
It's from
it out
that
for
concert.
me.
It was the ukulele concert.
Oh,
wasn't
that was
you
it.
went to?
That was it.
I've got it.
yes,
I've found
yes,
it.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
Well, let's
All
head
right.
this way. Well, look,
Okay, well,
it's
yeah.
left with little more for me to say than like, subscribe, do whatever. And look, thank you ever so much. I've really enjoyed it, Artie.
Okay.
And I will see you very shortly.
Bye for now.
See you later.
And I'll run off now.
Don't hurt yourself. See you, mate. Oh, that was grand. I really enjoyed that. That will send me into Sunday very happy. And I'll see you next week.
'Cause I'm just a teenager.